time here in our house. I know you want to start by mentioning crunch time players, huh?
Oh, exactly. First, I got to say Happy Mother's Day,
Yes, you do.
particularly to my beautiful, wonderful wife, Sheila.
There you go.
But crunch time in the NBA and the playoffs is the amazing thing when the best players step up. Pierce, Kidd, Bryant, you expect them to step up. But for me, the biggest surprise in the playoffs has been Mike Bibby of Sacramento, their point guard. He has been sensational, scoring, taking over. He's played against Stockton in the first round, and now Nash in the second round, has outplayed both players, and he has been sensational. And I've been one of a guy that's given him a hard time throughout the year.
All right, well, we gave him his due right there. You mentioned Kobe Bryant. Let's talk about Kobe's team right now. With the Lakers take a commanding 3-1 lead in San Antonio, well, Shaq not even close to full strength. He's been hurting and yelping at people. We'll get to that later. And to make matters worse for L.A. early on, well, Kobe Bryant runs out at Tim Duncan, picks up his second foul. He has to go to the bench. Good news for the Spurs.
Great move by Tony Parker going to the basket, but he's got to do it in the fourth period. He's been great for 3.5 periods. Kobe on the bench. San Antonio goes on a 9-2 run. Here's a fast break basket by Robinson. They have to play that style all the way to beat the Lakers.
Because Kobe's not going to be on the bench the entire game. Here he comes, and he's back to take care of a little business right there. Oh, man, nice pass, Antonio Daniels. Spurs up 29-27. Still second quarter. Spurs looking to push the ball, as you said, Coach. Off the Derek Fisher miss. Daniels ahead of the pack. Look at me stretch out, huh? Finger roll. 46-42. Spurs up by 4 at the break. Lakers look to 8mm for an answer in the third. Look at him twirling around, and yeah, I think he's okay despite the blow to the face. Got to get his gas. And still in the third quarter, Shaq Diesel takes the feed from Rick Fox. Big Dunkett's right there, and Shaq sharing his pain, Kevin.
Shaq is something. How about this? Is this a flagrant foul? His body's so big. Anytime he goes after the block hard, he's got a chance to get called for flagrant foul. I think that was flagrant.
They called it right there. Maybe a bad play. All right, Tim Duncan finds Bruce Bowen, who loves the left side, right? 10-point advantage for the Spurs. 82-72. Game in the books, right? Not really. Kobe Bryant had missed 7 consecutive shots, but it's money time, and he made the 3. His team down by 2. How about another 3 to tie the game up? Ain't even thinking about missing 7 straight. Time running out. Game tied at 85. Kobe Bryant lost the ball. Derek Fisher, not sleeping, comes up with it, calls his own number. It's a brick, but look at the long arm of the law. Kobe Bryant over the trees, David Robinson, and Tim Duncan. Oh, yeah, Lakers up by 2. Plenty of time, though, left for San Antonio. 3 seconds to Terry Porter. The San Antonio Spurs had an 84-74 lead with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to play. Then they took 6 consecutive trips down the floor and came up empty. Over the final 6 minutes and 15 seconds to play, the Spurs scored a grand total of 1 point. They should be embarrassed. The Lakers were handed their 11th straight road playoff victory, and now they're up 3-1.
I've kind of grown into this role where my teammates look to me and they expect me to deliver in these type of situations, and that's kind of my role. That's what I do for this team.
He has an uncommon will to win. He's got the exact same will to win that Michael had. That's an amazing combination. And I think fourth, what he's added to it is wisdom. He makes a lot smarter decisions now than he did in the beginning of the year of his career. And he's more patient. He's more composed. That's a hell of a package.
That's why he doesn't want to call timeouts late in the games, because that's what he's got to say, and it ain't good. Folks, Mel Gibson is a frequent spectator at Staples Center, and he must have passed out copies of The Road Warrior to Laker players, because their 11 straight playoff wins away from home is the best mark in the NBA ever. Obviously, this crew is good anywhere, though, because they're 21-2 over their last 23 playoff games. And, Kevin, you have to talk about the fourth quarter of this contest and just some unbelievable sequences going on for the visitors.
Andre, incredible. San Antonio has been up in the fourth period in all 4 games, and they're now 3-1 down and going to L.A. In this game, they only had 9 turnovers in this game. Here, in the last 4 minutes, they have 3 turnovers. Bad play, Danny Ferry over the back of Fox, and Fox takes a great charge on Duncan, another turnover. And don't forget the great play of Kobe Bryant. Coming down the stretch of each game, he takes over. Shots missed. No box out by Parker. Another mistake. Bryant finishes it off. San Antonio plays not to lose, instead to win in the fourth period. They could have swept this series but they don't have Kobe Bryant.
All right, another interesting note on the L.A. Lakers before they go to San Antonio for Game 3. Shaq, who was a little bit upset with Phil Jackson for getting on him in Game 2, gets into it after practice with Devin George, rips his shirt off. Brian Shaw jumps in and says, hey, save some of that for Malik Rose, why don't you? More words back and forth. The big fella charges Brian Shaw and tackles him. Well, Shaw says, that's what I'm looking for from you. Well, not much going on good there except for Game 3. Shaq's focus, Kobe's focus, not a lot of talk. Spurs didn't have a chance. Right now we bring Marty Burns in because Marty's been following these L.A. Lakers. And Marty, the big fella, maybe he's not smiling, but he's in a good position right now, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's a little bit annoyed because he's bothered by his ankle and finger and toe injuries that have brought his production down a little bit. And Phil Jackson, earlier in the series, came out and told the media that he had a heated discussion with Shaq just to try to motivate him. This is just Phil Jackson trying to push Shaq's buttons, as he always does. And, you know, there's really not much to it. Shaq came out before Game 4 and said, hey, me and Phil are on the same page. This is not another Allen Iverson, Larry Brown situation. And he even said that on the Lakers, it's like they're like a military unit, and Phil's the president, and he's the general. I don't know what that makes Kobe Bryant, maybe the A-bomb.
All right. Marty, we'll get back to you. I don't know what that makes Brian Shaw and Devin George either. They're toy soldiers, baby. All right, we need to take a timeout. Still to come, surprising numbers from the Fleet Center. Less than 48 hours after the Celtics and Pistons could not find the basket, there were points aplenty in their Game 4 matchup. And there's definitely no kid stuff taking place in the Nets-Hornets series. A real man has led New Jersey all year, and that continued on Sunday. Painful eye injury and all. Oh, hey, since this is our last show, we're going to leave you with some personal thoughts, like our favorite players of all time. For me, it's the guy who was all about winning time, Irvin Magic Johnson. He's a number one in my book. Stay tuned. In Boston Sunday, the Celtics were hoping to take a 3-1 advantage over the Pistons. Antoine Walker doing all he can, pulling up to the bumper for 3, and that's good. Celtics with a 3-point advantage. The first half was all about employee number 8. Backing down Jerry Stackhouse here and hitting the jumper and then driving to hit the lay-in. Wait, there's much more. Float on. Celtics were up 32-25. This despite Kenny Anderson picking up 2 quick fouls in the first minute of the play, Kevin.
Great move by Coach O'Brien to put Tony Delk in the lineup. You need scoring. Put him in the lineup that has no conscience. Tony Delk gets 16 points in this game. Great move by Coach O'Brien.
And the Celtics had a 2-point lead at the half. Yeah, good trade to get him. I think Mr. Matthews and everybody getting him over there. Chris Wallace, excuse me, Kevin. Yeah. Third quarter, Celtics up 14. Ben Wallace steals the ball from Paul Pierce, and Paul can't believe his foul or something wasn't called, or there wasn't some Crisco on that ball or something. Celtics up 53-41, though. Cliff Robinson made people unhappy after Game 2, had some pointed things to say about Antoine Walker. But guess what? He's a Big East guy from UConn. He's taking care of business. Only 4-10 from beyond the arc. Still 24 points huge. Pistons down by 6. Fourth quarter, here's your go-to guy,
Now
Kev.
it's Pierce time. The man who scored the most points in the fourth quarter the entire season. Pierce in the post, gets fouled. He is a sensational clutch player. Coach O'Brien liked that play.
71-61, C's up by 10. More from number 34. Great defensive play, blocked the shot, saved the ball. Antoine Walker pulls up at the other end. Yeah, he has no conscience either. That's the 82-71. Boston. And then the Celtics would indeed seal the deal. Watch the green team here work together. Pierce outlets to Walker. And he doesn't hog the ball. Gives it to the other guy that Chris Wallace helped bring on. That's Rodney Rogers.
Great trade from Phoenix.
Kevin, great pickup. And the Celtics haven't been to the conference finals since 1988, but they're just 1 win away now after taking a 3-1 lead in the series. Game 5 is in Detroit Tuesday. Boston's 12-0 run to start the second half was the key to this game. Paul Pierce grabbed the career-high 17 rebounds to go along with his 25 points.
We couldn't play any worse than we've been playing in these first 3 games. So, you know, eventually we knew it would come. We never get frustrated with the things we're doing offensively. But, you know, we understand that what's going to win these games is the defense anyway. You know, if we can continue to hold Detroit under 40% shooting, regardless of how our offense goes, we feel like we can win. It's tough out there to get quality looks, and when we get quality looks, we haven't been able to knock them down. And we're playing pretty good defense, but we're still allowing them to get too many easy opportunities off our mistakes. Our goals are much higher than just winning this series, so if we're not focused right now, we got a golden opportunity in front of us to move on and advance and get to the Eastern Conference Finals. We got to stay prepared, and with a short turnaround, it's going to be just as much pressure on them to turn around just like it is us. And obviously, we got to avoid those big spurts on the road. But I think we're a very together group. We understand our goals. Our goals are much higher, like I said, than winning this series. So we got to definitely come in and stay focused. And while their back is to the wall, we got to come in and try to bury them on Tuesday.
Well, the Pistons just couldn't handle the Celtics' 1-2 punch of Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker on Sunday. Walker scored 22 of his 30 points in the first half, while Pierce scored 23 in the second. Pierce is averaging more points than any Celtic ever has in a first postseason. Walker's 22.5 points ranked fourth. Now, when the Green Team went on that 12-0 run to start the second half, well, head coach Jim O'Brien said, guys, we're only scoring because of the defense. I don't know if that's coach talk, because I know you're fired up about their defense, too.
The reason they've been so successful in the playoffs, Andre, has been the defense. They've had the best defensive game plan and scheme in the playoffs so far. First against Orlando and now against Detroit. It's done in team defense. Watch off the ball. Here's Walker. It looks like he's beat. His man's got him inside. Flips the ball away. Now the coverage. This is fantastic team defense. 4 people cover the man with the ball, block the shot. Terrific team defense. They have improved defensively in 1 year better than any team I've ever seen in the NBA. They're holding the team to 10 less points in the playoffs. What a difference. They are fantastic team, defensive team, and last year they were awful defensively.
Oh, man, Jimmy Walker's a New Yorker, but even he would say dynamite right there. All right, let's keep our act in the Eastern Conference. Hornets were hoping to even up their series with the Nets at 2 games apiece on Sunday. Instead, their possible swan song in Charlotte because of that guy. Yeah, Jason Kidd. He was a question mark before the contest because of all that nastiness above the right eye. You know, there is no question mark here. He was going to play, and look at him. Go through the hole. I ain't scared of you. Nets had a 25-24 lead after one in this one, Kevin, although the Charlotte Hornets have a pretty good point guard in their own right.
Baron Davis is a sensational point guard. He's got such strength. Here he is going against a big man, McCullough, finishes his shot, gets fouled. The only problem, he's 9 for 17 from the foul line in this game. He's shooting fouls like Shaq. Oh. Here, watch him go on the break. Watch the hops that Davis has. After a big knee operation, look how high he's up. He almost loses the basketball. He's still over the rim, able to control it. A terrific, terrific player. But please improve your foul shooting, Baron.
Well, the Hornets were up by 5 at the break. It's tied at 64 after that hopscotch there. Fourth quarter, Nets opened it up, though, down 1. Anthony Johnson hit a jumper to put them up by 1, and then Kidd hits the 3. 4-point lead for the Nets. Wait, after a Hornet bucket, Jason Collins to put them up by 4. Everybody's touching the rock. Everybody's scoring. Keith Van Horn hits the 3 to cap a 10-2 run for the visitors, who have a 7-point lead. Yeah, raise your hands if you're sure. 76-69. Nets continue to push it. Kidd drives for the hoop and the foul. Kevin not afraid of going inside, and what do you like?
His left hand. What a finish. He's developed an automatic left hand on the fast break. What a sensation. My MVP for the year.
And the folks in Charlotte, they don't like the owners, but, well, it's not going to matter soon, is it? Jason Kidd may have turned out the lights on NBA action at the Charlotte Coliseum since the league approved the Hornets' move to New Orleans on Friday, and the Nets now have a 3-1 lead in this series. Jason Kidd, swollen, bruised, and battered, scored 24 points, which included 8 fourth-quarter free throws to lead his team to victory.
I was going full board. I think, early on, I got kind of fortunate to shoot a free throw to start the game, so that was good in that aspect. But the sooner you can get bumped and hit, the sooner you can, get back on that saddle and just ride.
Obviously, he didn't have too much regard for his own health. He thought about just the game and the win. He knew how important it was for us to, come here and get a W.
Timmy, our trainer, told me, he went into his room this morning and Jason had shaved his head. And once he said Jason shaved his head, he knew he was going to be playing. So, I think that was a good sign when Timmy told me that.
Well, before Sunday's game, Jason Kidd said that the 15-stitch gash above his right eye might actually improve his shooting percentage. Everybody wants to be a comedian, Kevin. But really, kids' numbers this postseason are no joke. Just ask the Hornets and the Pacers. His points, rebounding, and free throw percentages are career playoff highs, and you can't stop talking about that guy.
No, the amazing thing about Jason Kidd, to me, Andre, is the scoring. He's now scoring 20 points a game in the playoffs in this series, and the guy really doesn't want to score. He knows he has to. He can make shots off the dribble now when he has to. He's a three-point shooter. We know he's smart going back door for the easy basket. He's developed his left hand as well as any player in the game. And was there any doubt that he was not going to play? He only played 39 minutes.
Yeah, exactly there. Well, let's bring Marty Burns back in here because, Marty, a lot of folks believe this is a completely different series if Jamal Mashburn is in there. But, well, that's just how it is, though.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And, you know, at this point right now, the Hornets, they have a lot to think about with the Nets coming up in the series, but they also are concerned about Jamal Mashburn. He has positional vertigo, which it hasn't gotten any better in the last few days, and the team hasn't even seen him around. He hasn't been coming to games. He hasn't been showing up at practice. Some of the players have communicated with him through email and telephone and that kind of thing, and they say that Mash's spirits are okay, but that he tells them he doesn't think he's going to be back, even if they went on and advanced to the next round. And so the team right now has a lot on their mind with this series, with the move to New Orleans, but most of all with the health of Jamal Mashburn. They're worried about him, and they hope he gets better.
All right, Marty, we'll get back to you in just a little bit. You stand by. Folks, we need to take another time out. A couple of weeks ago, I tried to explain the bottom line on the Allen Iverson-Larry Brown relationship. Nothing's changed, but it is pretty good theater. This repetitive story just gets better with time, and we'll talk about it. But enough goofiness. Let's get serious, why don't we? I thought it would take Kevin Loughery a long time to tell me who his greatest player of all time was. But it only took him a nanosecond to tell me that it was Dr. J. Julius Erving.
I had Doc 2 years in the ABA with the Nets. 3 years. We won 2 championships. So easy to coach, the easiest superstar you could ever coach, my favorite player.
All right, we've got more greatness ahead. Stay tuned, folks.
I am Hida Turkle of the Sacramento Kings. I think the basketball court is like a classroom. It's a place where I am eager to learn something new every day. By reading a book, studying math, or learning a language, a world of opportunity will open up to you. Because education is the most important tool you can use in building a strong foundation for the future.
This message brought to you by the NBA and its players.
I pointed out that Larry Brown will continue to coach the 76ers his way, and Allen Iverson will continue to star for the 76ers his way. Honestly, there is no controversy. Billy Martin and Reggie Jackson coexisted as Yankees. These two can do it in Philly. Early last week, Brown publicly criticized Iverson. The next day, AI responded. The following day, Brown said, "Oh, it's cool. It's all good." Well, we've mixed and matched their sound bites together.
I don't have no problem with Coach. I mean, I love Larry Brown. You people may not believe it. You don't feel me when I say it, but I do. You know, he's done so much for me in my career, just helping me be the player that I am. If there's no Larry Brown, I don't think there's no MVP Allen Iverson.
I admire him. I love him personally. I love the way he competes and tries to win, but I've had issues with him as far as coming to practice and being on time and becoming a better player. I got a young kid on my hands that's looking for direction, that has a big heart and cares about the right things, and I got to figure out a way to help him.
We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, you know, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.
He hasn't been at practice as many times as he said practice. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm the MVP, and I got to worry about trade talk. I'm the MVP. I'm the MVP of this league. The best basketball players in the world. I was honored with the MVP. The MVP, the best basketball player in the world. And when I lose, this is what I got to go through. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to be the biggest, baddest, strongest bodybuilder in the world. And that's going to make me the best player in the world. That's going to make me, if I can do that, if I build myself up and get a whole lot of muscles and come back in here and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, are y'all going to give me the MVP award automatically? Will you please do that? If I come in here and look swole and big and strong and tough, y'all gonna give me that award, right? Just try to stick your foot in my shoes. Just for one, it ain't even gotta be a damn day. Just for 1 minute. Just for 1 minute. Stick your foot in my shoes and try to deal with what I go through in my life. My best friend, dead. Dead. And we lost. And this is what I gotta go through for the rest of the summer until the season start over again. This is what I gotta go through. This is my life in a nutshell. Y'all go home and have y'all lovely life, man. Live it up to the fullest.
It's been 5 great years here, guys. No.
All right, Kevin, you and I don't always agree. Is this marriage going to stay together?
Allen Iverson, a great player. Larry Brown, a great coach. I hate to say it on Mother's Day, but they need a divorce.
Okay, all right. Let's bring Marty Burns back in on this discussion here because, Marty, these two, they are good theater.
Yeah, they are. And it looks like this soap opera is going to continue for a while. Larry Brown says that Allen Iverson can tell his daughter that her dad will be in Philadelphia next year. That's a pretty strong statement. Also, I talked to Pat Croce, the former Sixers president, at the Mavericks series, and he said he believes that, for what it's worth, that those two players and that the coach and the player will be back in Philly next year. You know, the other thing is it's going to be hard, even if Philadelphia wanted to trade Iverson. For one thing, there's only a handful of players in the league that are of equal value to Allen Iverson, so that makes it tough right there. And then also, there's the fact that Allen Iverson sells tickets. He puts bodies in the seats. The fans in Philly love him. And let's say they got a guy like Vince Carter. What would the fans in Philly do to Vince Carter or treat him?
They'd be kind of rough on him. All right, Marty, thank you very much. We need to take another time out. You know what, folks? When Tim Duncan gets out of the shower at home every day, I wonder if he says, I'm the MVP. I'm the MVP of this league. All right, you're laughing, but I bet he does it. More MVP talks ahead. But now, more of our all-time great players. Josh Wine is a gentleman that produces this show every week, and Joshua's favorite player of all time is one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I like to say the choice had something to do with Josh's Chicago upbringing, but come on, this is number 23 he's talking about. Stay tuned. Well, the secret was released many, many days ago, probably by the same person who gave up Fred Hickman as the bad MVP voter 2 years ago. On Thursday, Tim Duncan was officially named MVP of the league as he edged Jason Kidd in the 5th closest finish since the media began voting in 1981. He didn't get my imaginary vote, Kevin.
I had a vote. I voted for Jason Kidd, but would you trade Jason Kidd for Duncan? You'd have to take Duncan, but would you trade Duncan for Shaq? You'd take Shaq. So who knows?
Who knows? All right, let's bring Marty Burns here on this quick MVP thing, Marty.
I agree with you, Coach. I voted for Kidd as well. I just thought he had a more dramatic impact, and after the way Duncan played in the 4th quarter, the last couple of games, I think he's made us look good.
All right. Hey, Marty, as always, we appreciate your time. It's been a great run for you. Loved having you here on as a teammate.
Good luck, Marty.
All right. Folks, it's been a great run for all of us here, and there are a lot of people that work behind the scenes that you never, ever, ever get a chance to see. We mentioned Josh Wine, who produces this show, and the folks in the control room. Mark, can we see the folks in the control room at all? There's a lot of hard-working people in there out here with us. You see, they're waving. Alex Close, come out here. Alex Close cuts almost every piece of video you see here on the show.
These are the guys that carried us for 2 years.
They make Kevin and myself look extremely, extremely well every Sunday. And as you know, this network is going away. The folks in graphics back there. You can go away now. And Kevin, the assignment desk and everything. But Kevin, we were at what was supposed to be Michael Jordan's last game when he beat the Utah Jazz. I was with you at another network. It couldn't have been more fun being here.
We had 2 great years. It's a shame we can't get to the finals, but it's been wonderful. We had a great time.
All right.
And thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything. You made me look very, very good. Folks, we appreciate playing ball with you every single week. We won't see you next week. Thanks for joining us here for this game. For everybody here at This Week in the NBA, I'm Andre Aldridge. For Kevin Loughery and Marty Burns, we'll see you next time.